This walkthrough is meant to support you in understanding how to complete the Cost-Based Funding Standardized Financial Reporting (SFR) reconciliation template. This guide looks specifically at the SFR tool for childcare centers. There are only certain cells that will allow for values to be input. In the Basic Information section, input the license number for the site, the center's site name, the licensee name, which would in most cases be the head office name, then input the CWELCC enrollment date. Please note that your enrollment date is the date for which you first received CWELCC funding. For example, if you received your first payment of CWELCC funds on December 29, 2022, and that payment covered the period starting on April 1, 2022, then your enrollment date is April 1, 2022. Finally, select the CMSM, which in this case would be the City of Ottawa. In the Operational Information section, input the total number of service days the center was open. A service day is any 24-hour period within the calendar year during which a center or home charges a base fee even if it is closed, for example, on a statutory holiday. For each relevant age group, report the actual number of operating space days. Operating space days are determined by multiplying the number of operating days for that calendar year by the number of operating spaces for that age group. Also report the actual number of licensed space days. Licensed space days are determined by multiplying the number of operating days for that calendar year by the number of licensed spaces for that age group. In the Financial Information section, input the actual base fee revenue. You will need to report separately on revenue from fee collected from full fee families and revenue from fee subsidy. Under the Actual Program Costs section, you will need to report on actual eligible costs associated with program staff, supervisors, accommodations, and operations. Enter any approved one-time unexpected costs if applicable. If you received emergency funding during the calendar year, include the actual eligible expenses associated with the approved application here. The last item for this section is the actual eligible costs specifically associated with supporting the inclusion of children with special needs, where the principle of inclusion, as laid out by the ministry, stipulates that all children are able to actively and meaningfully participate in licensed childcare and early years programs and are supported to form authentic, caring relationships with their peers and educators. For example, a class-wide approach which does not separate or exclude children with individualized one-to-one treatment or actions. Eligible costs supporting the inclusion of children with special needs could include hiring additional resource or support staff, purchase or lease of specialized equipment or supplies, and professional development opportunities for staff. You will then need to enter the contact information for follow-up on the information in the CBF SFR reconciliation. Once you have reviewed all the information for accuracy, complete the Annual Attestation section. The attestation must be signed and dated by an individual with signing authority for the childcare center. Once your 2025 submission is complete, compile all the relevant and necessary documentation and return all required documentation to Children's Services. For any questions, please contact Children's Services.